Hi guys, it's been a long time since we last spoke to each other, and I thought this time I will show you the books I read so far this year. It's not as much as I wanted to, because, well, sometimes life happens and you want to read a lot, but then all of a sudden other stuff is very important and has to be done. So yeah, that happened a lot this year, so it's not that much as I wanted it to be, but we only have September, which means we have September, October, November, December. It's 4 months left, and I can do a lot of it in 4 months, or I have a lot of time still to put some more books onto the pile here. And yeah, on that note, I also wanted to talk about my book journal here, and I really like it because in here I can just put in when I finish the book, like the title of it and the picture and what format and such. And I really like that, and keep track of like new releases and when I read, and it's really helpful. And in the end we have a yearly statistics that I can do, which is quite fun. It's just a lot of fun, and there is also book bingo and stuff like that. And so yeah, I will do another more in-depth video about this cool journal and how I use it, because I use it a bit differently than it is intended to. So, but that will be another video. So I don't know yet if I will do it in a particular order, like in the order I actually read, or in the order I will just reach forward. But I know, because I know that that was the first book I read or I finished in January. It's The Christmas Orphan Club by Becca Freeman. And this one is such a cute wintry book. It's about 4 friends and their found family, and that they celebrate Christmas together. But it's also about what happens when you grow and when you start your own life, and how to navigate that with your family, and also to grow apart from them for some time, but also the new ways in which you can grow together again and be still family. So it was really nice, and it really struck a nerve with me, because I'm also getting older, and well, a lot of these themes are completely universal for every young adult out there. So if you're searching for a really cool winter read about Christmas, then this is definitely a recommendation, and it's really, really cool. So yes. Then at some point I read Daughter of the Pirate King from Tricia Levenseller, and that's a YA pirate fantasy book adventure thingy, and it was a lot of fun. It was really a lot of fun. It was like swashbuckling pirates, a romance subplot, intrigue and mission, and it was really, really fun. It was actually really fun. It reads a bit young, like not it is for younger people. As I said, it's YA, and I think you could feel that with the main character, because she is pretty young, and sometimes you can read that she is not yet an adult, and doesn't have all the capacity to make informed decisions sometimes, which ends up being a lot of fun to read because stuff happens and, well, not every plan is going to succeed in the way she wants it to succeed, which is kind of fun. And I really, really appreciate that with this book, because you can read that she's not an adult yet, and you can read that she struggles with stuff, and I got you a bit closer to me because you were so far away, so yeah. And it makes it so realistic and so much more deeper, like the characters are deeper for it, because they are really realistic and don't have everything out yet, which is nice. And I really want to continue with that series. And yeah, maybe I can do that still this year. So I also have a reading vlog of this one coming at some point. I have to put some stuff together there, and then we will see. The next book I read is by far my favorite so far for this year, and it is Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. And this book is so amazing. It's about how this disease is still going rampant in some parts of the world, how we as a society could stop it, and how we as a society decide to ignore it, and what that does to history, and how history shaped the disease, but also how the disease shaped history. And it's so amazing. It's a read you have. I feel like you have to read this book. Like, everybody should read that book, because alone the fact that this is one of the most infectious diseases to this day is ridiculous. Because there's a vaccine against it and there is treatment against it, and still so many people die of it. And this book shows beautifully how this can be, and also shows some moments in time in history when this disease was part of it. So yeah, I really liked reading this book. I mean, I'm a little history nerd, so this was really amazing to have that. And also, like, getting to know so much about this infection was really nice. And as you can see, I tapped really much of it, and it also tells about some of the people and who struggle with that disease, and how they struggle and why they struggle with it, and why so often it has to do with lesser fortunate countries and poorer countries than our Western big societies, and what that means for us as well, and why it's important to come together as world to help eradicate this disease for everybody on this planet, because everybody will eventually, well, everybody will benefit from doing so. So yeah, it's really interesting, because you hear of tuberculosis in the sense of it was so far away in the past, but that it's still such a common problem in the world. I didn't know that, and that book taught me. So yeah, it's a really good book. I hope John Green writes another really good non-fiction book. I really like what he did there. So yeah. Then I read, no idea what I read then. I think Murder in the Family. And I made a buddy read with a friend of mine. I will put her stuff in the description down below. And we buddy read that thing. And I mean, I highly annotated it. I had such a fun time with this book. It was so cool, and the premise of it was so cool. It's like you can read, like you're reading the transcripts of a TV show, because they want to solve this murder that happened some 20 years ago or something. And for that they get experts together, and then they have like different episodes, and you read what they say and you get the evidence that they get. And when they unravel more informations, you also get it at that point. And then it's like, who's faster, these 6 experts in solving the murder, or you as a reader? And I really liked that premise. I also really liked the multimedia aspect of this read. Like, for example, you see all of the experts then and their resumes, and then you see text messages, and then you see like what they say, for example. And this is such a fun concept with the multimedia. We also have that in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, where it's like multimedia, and I also really liked it there. And I really like these multimedia aspect thingies. These are a lot of fun to read, and especially as a buddy read, this was really amazing as a buddy read. So yeah, that was also a really nice book. Then I was in need of a fluffy little romance and a fluffy something, so I read Love on Paper by Danielle Parker. This is such a good book. It is such a nice romance that's happening, and it's about a teenager who is going to a writing retreat, and she finds new friends there, and she finds love there and all of that, but she also struggles with the aspect of becoming an author and becoming her own author despite her parents being bestseller authors. And I like this so much, since I'm in the journey of becoming an author myself. And also tapped some of the stuff in here. There's such good advice in this. And I really liked reading this fluffy romance and seeing this character, Marcy is the main character, that Marcy became her own. I really like that, and I think it's lovely, and I really appreciate all of the advice that is given in here, because it helped me so much in my own journey, and also in the sentiment that when you try to find your own voice, the struggle behind that, I really appreciate that about this wonderful book. So yeah. And then lastly I read The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. This was a pick from my book club, and I struggled so much with this book in the beginning, because I had so much trouble to get into it, and the way it was like flowing, because the way it is structured. In the beginning you don't really have that red of a thread you can follow. It's a bit all over the place sometimes, and that pulled me out multiple times. So I was in the beginning, I was audiobooking and reading, because it just didn't really work only to read, and at some point I just read because it became interesting, and then I just went on with it. And the characters, like I came for the plot and stayed for the characters, because we have so many cute ones. We have 4 pensioners, and then a murder happens. Like they're in this old people's home, and then not one of their own, but like the manager of this estate thing of their home gets murdered. And normally they try to solve cold cases, but now they have a real one, like a real warm one on their hand. And then these 4 pensioners, Elizabeth, Joyce, Ibrahim and Ron, try to solve it. And they have such good banter, and the other characters, like from the police department, they are all so funny and so good banter, and that I just stayed for them, that I wanted to know what happens to them and how they solve it. And in the end I got a bit confused, because from time to time it's a bit convoluted, but still it is a really good fun book. I had my fun with the characters, and like in the book club, it was, all of us didn't say it was our favorite book, but we all acknowledged that the characters are really fun, so I definitely stayed for the characters. Will I continue the series? Most probably not. Did I contemplate to continue the series because of the characters? Definitely yes. So I finished reading that on my drive home from Denmark, which was also really nice to have that there. So yeah, these were all the books. These ones. So these were all the books I read so far this year, and well, I hope there will be more, and we can talk about some more of them by the end of the year. So yeah, we will see. Until then, until the next video, have a good time, have fun with reading or writing or drawing or whatever you like to do, and then we will see each other around somewhere here. So bye bye.